But yeah, man,
Yeah.
moving on. Obviously
Yeah.
the breaking news of this week, Marcus Rashford has come out with an interview with the I was about to say dossier, but it's not that. He's come out with a tribunal article, whatever, and he has let loose with his emotions. And I'm not trying to make like light of it or a joke of it, because
No, I
he
get
had
you.
valid
I
points.
get
You
you.
know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
hate, but I like it at the same time because
Yeah.
it's sort of like it's I don't know how to put it, but it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? You're just there, blah, 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 and you forget that
Yeah.
this guy is human, and then you sit there and you feel guilty about what you said, and you're like, man, I was just frustrated. You know what I mean? Like, of course, he
Yeah.
can have his nice cars, and we understand he used to take 4 buses to like Carrington, he had to participate in football competitions or whatever. We get it. You know what I mean? We're just mad fans. We're just angry. We're just
Yeah.
emotional
Yeah.
right now, and we're just
Yeah.
finding excuses. Like what in our heads, we are trying to like find things to justify why he's playing
Your
bad.
behavior.
You get what I
Yeah.
mean? And because
Yeah.
we don't have enough information to go off, we're just gonna pick and choose from whatever we see. Like you see, yeah, they're shopping. Why are you shopping? You're not even scoring goals. You check what I mean? Why are you in Belfast? Why? And we forget the dude is human. You know, we forget he's human. And then he comes out and then he
Why
makes
are
us
you
feel like
shopping?
fab. You know, you know what I mean? We get carried
That
away in
was
our
funny, man.
emotions. We get
That
carried
was
away,
funny.
you know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, we have to understand he's human. Like if we're in the same position, we had that type of disposable money. Of course, we'll be buying McLarens and Louis Vuitton and private jets to Belfast and whatever. But I think at the end of the day, we get all of that. And I'm personally going to be the first person to put my hands up and apologize and say, you know what, Askis, you know what I mean? I was in my feels, I shouldn't have judged you, I shouldn't have taken it there. But you know what, Rashford, we can all agree on one thing. Your performance on the pitch have been fab. And let's be fair about this. We'll stop talking about everything else external and let's keep it to the football. Your football has been fab. You know what I mean? You said you can take all the criticism in the world, this and this. You also mentioned about about his family being criticized. We have never talked about his family on this show. So,
Never.
yeah, we've never gone there. I've always been respectful of that. We've just attacked him, the person as he is, whatever. But, if we bring it back to the football hasn't been amazing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And like
Mm.
I said, we are just seeing and hearing, and we're just attaching and assuming and saying maybe it's because you're partying in Belfast and missing training. Maybe it's because you're driving around your McLaren instead of being in Carrington or whatever. But at the end of the day, his performances are just not they're not up to par. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They're not up to par. And if you and maybe that's because of the criticism, and it's playing so much in his head, and he's so frustrated. And I think now that he's got that off his chest now, maybe that's
I
a thing
hope.
that's been weighing on his shoulder, that
Yes.
he's been wanting to voice this. And because now, like he said in his interview, it has gone too far, that he felt like this is the time to say something. So at least now he's given the opportunity to get everything off his chest. You know what I mean? And come in there with a new slate. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people. I know it's always funny because when these players always come out and appeal to the humane side of them, it's always funny how these reporters and pundits would always come out and be like, no, no, relax. Not that we hate you. We love you. You're an awesome player. You know what I mean? It's just that you're not playing well. But before that, they're at his neck. He should leave
Yeah.
United. He's not.
Yeah.
And they're just so passive about it. And then when he comes out like this, everyone gets scared,
Mm.
because they feel people are gonna attack them and say, "Yeah, you forgot that he's human. You forgot he's only 26. You what? You know what I mean? Let
Mm.
him be." Fair enough, but my guy, like, yeah, we get it. We've read your thing. We get it. We apologize. We put our hands up. But my guy, like, at the end of the day, it's honestly just about football. And
Mm.
yes, we do get carried away, but it's just about the football. And no player, like you always say, Ben, is bigger than the club. We respect that you love United. We respect that you are a football fan, lover of the club. You had opportunities to go elsewhere, but you didn't, and whatever. That's all well and good. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure lots of players before you, players right now, and players that have left had the same story, had this thing of I left China or whatever, you know what I mean? I swam across the Atlantic just to play for the club that I love. But if you're not good enough and you can't cut it for the team, what are we supposed to do? Just keep you because you're an admirer. I can't go to Carrington right now and be like I've been a United supporter since birth. Let me play for United. Doesn't make sense, you know? It's either you're up for it or you're not. And up for it in the sense of you have that ability, you know, you have the stats, you have everything that takes for you to play for such a big club. It's not a small club. This is fucking Manchester United, you know, and he needs to understand and respect that. The reason why we're on his neck is because he's not living up to that player that we expect him to be and that the player that he wants to be. So I think it's fair on us to be like, look, we don't think as a fan base that this is the club for you, unfortunately. You know, like you're just not doing it. Last season you had an incredible season. We give you props for that, but I think overall it just hasn't been what we've expected from him. And like I said in the other season, I think Rashford just went through an unfortunate development stage of manager after manager, different philosophies, different coaching styles, different whatever. Because I really believe that if Rashford was in a system, you know, that in a proper structure, that he would have probably been a way better player than he is right now. But just because of how his development went through United, and this is purely United's fault, you know, unfortunately, this is where we are today. And in order for this team to get to back where it needs to be, it's one or two things. One, you know, you get back your form and you start playing better, and you know what I mean. Or two, you just leave the club. You know, you leave the club and you go somewhere else. You know what I mean? But those are my thoughts, man. What about you? What do you have to say about this whole Rashford thing?
Bro, when I listened to it, I thought it was a joke. I
Mm,
thought, wait, why is this guy putting himself on the spot again? Why is he putting the magnifying glass on him again? Like,
yeah.
why? Does he not know he's not playing well? Like, who is lying to this guy and telling him that he's playing like prime Cristiano Ronaldo right now?
Mm,
Who?
mm,
Who is making this guy think that he's walking on water, scoring
yeah.
goals, banger after banger, giving assists? Who is telling him that? Because the
Mm,
only way you can have that sort of audacity to come out and say this thing, is when your track record. Usually, we respect people. Normally, even society, we respect people that come af like this, the way he did.
yeah.
When you have got a strong background, sort of,
Yeah.
and his background this season is not that very strong. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I thought that I was expecting the apology because we never got an apology from
Yeah.
Rashford from his funny stint. I
Yeah.
thought, okay, say you don't want to give us an apology, but you're going to give us a glimpse into the struggles, some things that you're going through that we can understand.
Yeah.
Something, give us something. Let us understand the human side of you because we get it. If you
Mm,
want to come here and portray this human side or want to come and what is this? What's the word? Um, connect to the human side of everything, then you need
yeah.
to you understand what I mean? And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he Rashford comes out there looking defensive. The way I took it, it looked defensive.
Okay.
Like it was almost like, okay, but we didn't ask you to come and tell us this thing. Oh, we are coming here and we're blaming his family. Now, the way I look at it, it's like if he is directly saying that the media are having a pop at his family, then he
Yeah.
needs to specify who. Because I don't think anybody in the media with any credible credentials would have gone out there and slated his family. I don't think so. So the only thing that it leaves me with trolls, fans that are really upset and blah blah blah. So are you talking to those people? Did you have to sit down and start talking to those fans that are attacking your family in that way? If so, really, like
Yeah.
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel that message. I didn't feel what he was saying. He was just coming. He looked like somebody who is trying to defend his bad performances because he has not been good this whole season. He's not been good.
Yeah.
So he's trying to find something to justify, oh, you guys are attacking my family. How dare you guys question my commitment to the club? We are
Yeah.
questioning the commitment to the club because it doesn't look like you give a damn on the
Yeah.
pitch. We
Yeah.
see it. Nah, you can
Yeah.
complain all you want. You can say what you want, come up with this memoir or whatever. It's not going to change what we see on the pitch. The only way you can change our opinion is by doing the business. Now, the way I also saw it, I was scared because I'm like, why would you put yourself on the spot when we are going to play against Man City? Right now, things are not really, really good. You know, these derby games, we take them very, very seriously. Rashford, by saying all the things that he said, he's put himself on the map again. Now, again, when we look at him coming back after that whole Belfast thing, he didn't really light up the Premier League. Let's call a spade a spade. He scored
Yeah.
goals, a couple assists maybe there and there, but he didn't do anything that was wow. It was an
Yeah.
improvement from the bad season he was already having, just a
Yeah.
slight improvement. But he hasn't lit the world on fire, so
Yeah.
he's still not improved or hasn't been that player that we know and
Yeah.
aspire him to be. So I feel like him coming out and coming at the way he did, I get it. Like if there are people out there attacking his family, that is not right. Like that part I understand. But
Yeah.
again, if we want to go and now dissect that whole thing, because who the media, I don't see the media. I see trolls. So I address them as trolls. You know what I mean? Like let's address the people that are saying those things, the threatening stuff as trolls. Let those
Yeah.
address them as that, and then address the media the way we are addressing you because we are addressing
Yeah.
you because of your footballing abilities, the way you're performing for us. That's what
Yeah.
is being talked about. Rashford is not tracking back. Rashford loses the ball and doesn't want to fight for it again. Rashford
Yeah.
could have passed. He's not passing. Those are the things that we talk about. You know what I mean? Last
Yeah.
season, he was scoring goals left, right, and center. We're singing his praises. He couldn't do
Yeah.
anything wrong. But it all changed now because you're not doing it.
Yeah.
So stop playing the victim or stop flipping the narrative to suit or to try and mask your bad performances because that's how I saw it. I thought it was unnecessary. I thought,
Yeah.
really, dude, you are better than this. And
Yeah.
again, we need to get out of this mentality that Rashford is still a kid. He's not a kid.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he has ridden that wave of being a kid for a long, long time. And last
Yeah.
season was his last. Like, and
Yeah.
unfortunately for him, it ended on a high because he scored
Yeah.
30 goals. That was his best season. Now
Yeah.
he was supposed to pick up from that. He hasn't.
Yeah.
So now there is no going back. He's not a baby anymore. He can't
Yeah.
be all poor me. We are going to continue criticizing him until he gives us good performances. Like, I'm sorry. For me, I thought it was a waste of time on
Yeah.
his side and everybody else because everybody's gonna be like, really, Rashford? Dude, dude, what you
Mm.
did against Nottingham Forest. Do you think we didn't see that? You understand
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, or against Fulham, where
Mm.
there was this moment that really caught me off because I was like, if Hoyland was on that in that similar situation, he wasn't going to let that defender get away with that ball. He was gonna
Yeah.
Rashford is going 50-50 for the ball, loses it, and then doesn't chase for it.
Yeah.
And then these guys
Yeah.
end up breaking and going further deep into our and it's like, nah, 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 Rashford, nah.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. You
Yeah.
perform. You perform, you perform, you perform. And if you're performing and your performances are good, it's going to show us. And
Yeah.
we will cut you some slack. But
Yeah.
right now you've got no leg to stand on. So it's just another it's just another stunt that made me cringe. Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, man. I hear you. I hear you. And I think, yeah. I think that's all I have to say. And honestly, let's just hope that, um, what he has done is going to serve its purpose. I hope it's what you call this. I don't even know what I want to say. I know what I want to say, but it's not coming out my mouth, fam.
It's not,
You know what
the
I mean?
word is not coming
The
out.
yeah, the words are not coming out. I just hope it serves its purpose. Let me leave it like that. I hope it serves its purpose, and I hope that we can breathe after this.
Yeah,
We can
yeah,
step into a new chapter. And like I said, I'm not going to go in on him anymore because I've already made up my mind about Rashford. In all honesty, I don't know. I
Mm,
don't need to keep
mm.
talking more and more about it. Um,
And
he has
what's
come
your
out. He has said
what's your
what
made up mind?
my mind is made up. Like it's either one or two things. Either your performances are getting better or you leave the club. And I'm not going to speak more on it because I think we've spoken so much on it. Nothing else is going to change my mind. You become a better
Yeah,
player, you know.
or leave.
Let me not even say become a better player. You become a consistent player, you know.
Yeah,
You become
yeah, yeah,
consistent. Yes. All we
yeah.
need is consistency.
Like we
Become
will take
consistent or leave.
if he's gonna give us 6.5 performances every week.
Yeah.
Like, at least be consistent.
At least be
You know?
consistent. That's all we
Yeah.
ask for. Just
Hey,
do that. You know what I mean? And everything will be better moving forward. So honestly, that's the last thing I have to say.